Okay, loads of things happening inside of Helldivers 2, although the development team are absolutely quiet right now with just a couple of days left before the new update for Escalation. We have got loads to go through. Iron Sights has put up a pre-leak for things that you guys are definitely going to want to get your hands on, and we've got an interesting clip on the Joel video for the galactic map that seems to be highlighting some specific planets that we may not have actually ventured yet. On top of that, we have got some stuff to talk about from the Reddit and a final leak from Iron Sights that you guys may want to know about. So with that being said, if you haven't already, smash that beautiful blue thumbs up and subscribe with post notifications turned on. It'd be greatly appreciated. On top of that, check out our sponsor Instant Gaming, the platform where you can buy your video games cheaper for PCs and consoles with the best deals, offers, promotions and discounts. If you guys want to get your hands on it, all up to 70% off, go down to the description, click the link and get your games a little bit cheaper today. With that being said though, let's take a look at what it is that's going on inside of the game right now. So starting off, we are obviously in game with the major order, which was 1.5 billion enemies to be taken out, and we are 2.3% through apparently. This is weird numbering, but nonetheless is definitely not looking like we're going to manage this one at all. When we take a look at the numbers inside of the game, 15,000 on Draco right now, less than 1,000 on Mirin sector, 1.8 thousand on the Falstaff sector, 1.1 thousand on Hydra, less than 500 people on the Lasil sector, 4,000 on Ymir, and 2,500 on Trigon. Overall, it's not likely that we're going to hit these numbers because we just don't have the player base, so it seems that the meme of the anti-tank mines is going to be, well, eradicated, because we're definitely going to obtain these anti-tank mines. For the record, when I did the video the other day on the new major order, we obviously got the information wrong, so I'll hold my hands up. I misread that one big time, but if it's not eliminated, the anti-tank mine production will be ordered. Essentially, they're saying, we're tired of you dodging this one, we need to get it in the game, so you're gonna bloody have it. And it seems like they were definitely not wrong there. We are definitely going to be using those mines. It's an interesting feature, but nonetheless, there's nothing that we can do about it. The anti-tank mines will be delivered to your stations very, very soon. Moving on though, we had another conversation the other day with regards to Shams Georgiani talking about expendable bayonets, and there seems to evidently be a reason for it, as Iron Sights posted up this just the other day, stating, leak expandable bayonets. Some variables found relating to the bayonet weapon attachment, along with a knife melee weapon. Looking forward to it. And it states right here, ability ID avatar melee weapon bayonet, ability ID avatar melee knife stab, and ability avatar melee knife stab prone. So it does seem that we're going to be able to make the attachment. How this is going to work, this is interesting to say the least. It may well be on a support stratagem, we don't know. This may well be an adjustment that you can add into your weapons, because it just states melee weapon bayonet. This may just be a secondary piece that you guys can use instead of having a secondary weapon, or even instead of using a grenade, because the actual throwing knives went down so bloody well in this game, didn't they? Yep, I know. Anywho, we'll see how this one actually goes through, and if it does seem to work, I think it'll be an interesting feature if we can add it to extendable points, so we can add it onto weapons that we're already utilizing. Will be the only way to use this, or else these bayonets are never going to get used if we have to give up a secondary slot or even a grenade slot for it. Next up though, the Joel video that was put up actually had an interesting screenshot on this. We could notice that on the right hand side of his monitors was an actual map loadout, and on this map loadout we have some interesting looks. We can see that there are a bunch of planets that are highlighted on here, and if we follow those on the actual Galactic War map, it seems to be quite an interesting feature. So we are going to try and figure out which planets they are right now. When we go onto here on the Sagan sector, we know that Oslo Station is definitely highlighted. What's the main point for that one? We'll have to wait and see. We've also got Bekvam 3 that has also been highlighted on the Automaton sector, although majority of the highlights seem to be coming from the Terminid side, and these ones are pretty vague because it's extremely blurry on the screen. But we're looking at Terrick being highlighted. It seems that Fort Union has been highlighted, and potentially this planet right here of Angel's Venture, which I don't really know what the main point for that one is, but we'll have to wait and see what the big points for that are. And then it looks like, after taking a little bit of a glare into it, that this right here of Turing might be a planet that is highlighted as well. It's an interesting feat because we could be looking at Sliff instead of actually looking at Angel's Venture. It could be Sliff here in the corner, but we don't know. There's loads of things highlighted on the map, and I don't know what the actual point of that is. It'll be an interesting one to see, but nonetheless, we'll have to wait and find out. Another conversation that's being had right now with nearly 3,000 upvotes is, why does the railgun exist? I just recently tried it out and the weapon feels and looks amazing, but it's barely practical. It takes down all types of devastators very easily, but anything higher than a Hulk, it becomes useless. I get I have to max charge it for some real damage, but when I max charging it against gunships, turrets, tanks, and factory striders, I aimed it at all their weak spots, by the way. It took almost half of my ammo to kill some of them. I'm confused by the point of taking this over an anti-material or just any anti-tank. Am I just using this wrong purpose, or is it really that bad? It does look and feel amazing, and once upon a time this thing was absolutely famous for the damage that it would put out. Unfortunately, it was so famous for the damage that it would put out that it's been nerfed into the ground now. So you tell me how many times you've seen somebody use a railgun in the last week of playing this game. Me, myself, I have not come across a single railgun, nor will I use one. Moving on though, a post that received nearly 2,000 upvotes seems to be focusing on the actual galactic map itself, and has a very interesting concept, to say the least. But it states right here, I just realized that the war map may not actually be showing all of the planets in the galaxy, as said, and theorized that the war situation may look more like this, considering the spreadful nature of bugs and reappearance of the bots from nowhere after apparently allegedly being beaten. This one is actually really interesting because it essentially says that there's room for expansion, there's room for the galactic war map to roll out. Now obviously, if we take a look at the war map that we've actually got already, there is not very much of it actually utilized. The game's been out for months upon months, and I would like to say that not even a third of the map has actually been used. There are still like tens and tens of planets that have not been ventured, not been showcased, not been shown, and we're just playing the same bloody planets. I mean, the developers are wondering why the player base is going down. They keep us in the same little sectors. We keep playing the same bloody planets all the freaking time. Like, do you know how many times we've been to Hellmire? I know, and yet it's still bloody available to play. We need to be able to venture this map out, and it needs to be able to go somewhere else, because I can probably speak for most of the community when I say that we're bored of the outstanding planets, and it needs to be expanded. This game's been out for months now. Months. And we've not even ventured a third of the system. It makes absolutely no sense to me whatsoever. I know that full well some of it is probably kept up for the Illuminate and for other features, but nonetheless, we should be able to have more expansion than this. Even just the completely straight northern sector, we could have ventured into there by now. I think that we definitely need it. So if anybody from the development team are watching this, which I highly doubt, but nonetheless, I would quite like it if you would expand this out just a little bit so we can get some new vision on some new planets. This is getting boring beyond belief. Let me know what you guys are thinking via the comment section below, but I think that it's probably correct to state that there is further out than this. Obviously, there are galaxies upon galaxies, and they're all expanded and connected in some way or another. So there's probably so many other planets beyond this point that they can actually expand with DLC and stuff. I think that it'd definitely be doable, but I'd like to venture through this map first at least. And finally, we have a final post right here from Iron Sights for the alternative lava objective. Hive Lord? ? This right here is the Benjamin, an alternate model for the lava Lava Escort objective. He can be linked to the Retrieve the Hive Lord Lava objective. While it is possible that he's being cut content, Benjamin had a full animation set along with the complete objective. So it'll be extremely interesting to see what this is. I don't have a clue what's going on with this image and why the hell Benjamin is wearing a top hat, but it looks pretty damn cool to me. Let me know your speculations via the comment section below, but unfortunately that's all we've got time for today. If you haven't already, smash that like button and subscribe with post notifications turned on. Thank you so much again for watching, guys. I appreciate you all, and as always, I'll see you in the clouds.